So for me, the Emirates Cup is like Viagra. I spent the entire last quarter of that game, Scott, hard as a rock, just fist like by myself, so happy. Because, dude, I remember 73. You're younger than me. I remember 73. And in particular, dude, I remember 69, 70 season perfectly, right? 9-year-old kid. I was a stone's throw from the city, and dude, it was heaven. And let's face it, partner, you and I together have been Knicks fans combined for over 100 years. And we haven't really seen much. Yeah, Patrick Ewing, good run, blah, blah, blah. But, Hakeem Olajuwon knocked us out every time. But it was such a joy. I know it's just the Emirates Cup, but it was a joy to see our Knicks lift a trophy. I loved it, partner. How you doing?
Yeah, I loved it too. I didn't care if they raise a banner or not. That doesn't matter. Just the fact that they're,
Yeah,
really kind of the best team going right now, as
playing
far as
well.
that goes. But I still
Yeah,
don't think they could beat the Thunder in a series.
I don't
And
either.
I have my druthers whether or not they can go to the finals. But that gave me hope that they could. I still think there's problems like they beat
Agreed.
Detroit last year, right? And I think
Yeah,
Detroit is better than last
way better.
year. I think
Way
that
better.
I like, as you know, I'm a fan of Cunningham's. I think
Yeah,
Stewart's just an absolute motherfucker in the low block. Like he's a violent, physical, do not
yeah,
fuck with me type. Like
yeah.
going
He
back to
could be a
old
left
school
tackle.
Knicks.
Yep,
That's like
yep.
old school Nick basketball, the way that guy plays.
Oakley.
Yeah,
Yep,
like you know what I mean, and Mahorn and stuff like that.
totally,
So
totally.
I feel like they have a shot. And I wanted to say one thing about Brunson. Um, he's a contortionist. I think
He's
the
great.
guy for his size and his weight, the things that he can do with his body
Yeah,
to get a shot
the
off, to
look,
get
the look.
space, to get what he wants
Yeah,
is carnival like. He's a contortionist. The guy's a freak. He is a true point guard extraordinaire, and he's something else. And look, they did that without Deuce. Deuce is a great shooter now, as you know. So, and
yeah.
we've already talked about Mitchell, what he does on the glass, and Cat, and they got a good team. And look, Brown's doing a good job with him. Do you like Brown as opposed to Tibbs?
Yeah, so I do, Scott. And here's what I look like. A lot of people dumped on Tibbs, and Tibbs was really good for the Knicks to transition from absolute horror show, Scotty, to something better. But Tibbs, for instance, right now, you saw what happened in the fourth quarter. Scotty, you're a baller. The fourth quarter, it wasn't about Brunson. It was about bench players, dude,
Yeah.
that stepped up and were draining. Tyler Kolek was out of his mind. And by the way, partner, I don't know if you watched the Indiana Pacer game last night, but Kolek's turning the corner. He is turning the fucking corner. And I am praying there's the little bastard on Indiana, the little white guy, McConnell. And
Yeah.
I am praying that Tyler Kolek can be like that, but a way better passer. So I'm super psyched. And that's what I'm saying. Like right now, there's a little bit more depth. So I think they have a good shot against a team like Detroit because I don't love Detroit's bench. And here's what I see in the East. Besides the Knicks, can Philly stay strong, Scott? We'll find out tonight, right? There's a game at 6:30.
Yeah.
I don't know if Philly can come out, man. I really don't.
I don't.
Orlando?
I'm not buying them. I'm not buying. I think Orlando might be a team that There's people talking about that being a rivalry, the Magic
Yes.
and the Knicks.
Yeah,
And Ananobi played great in that game. I'll give you
he
that.
did.
And
He
Kolek,
did.
you're right about for sure. I think McConnell's a great player. Every team, if they had a guy like that, would make the
Would
playoffs and
take
be
him.
more exciting, right?
Yeah, they would. Anybody would take
That's the way
him
you
as a
played.
backup point guard.
That's the way you
Yeah,
played. All
yeah.
out hustle guy. Like
Never
I
stop.
play with a guy that is a true point guard, and he not only is unstoppable with both hands, and he makes these Jimmy kisses off the glass, shovel shots. When he drives, he goes in and uses the body and shovels shots off the glass. He's got both hands, and I mean wide angled, like down by his hips, flicks. Not hooks up here. I'm talking down by his
Yeah,
legs
yeah.
and hips. So the difference between him and everyone else is that when the other team kicks it and goes in transition and tries to run like in the NBA, This is the kind of guy like you were as a player that hustles so, just so ferociously back that he runs so fast back and steals the ball from the guy that brings the ball in transition up the court. He is a thief going the other way. Like the team's moving with a 3-on-2 and he comes and steals the ball, turns around and goes back and gets another bucket. He can sometimes get 2 buckets on one play because he plays the full floor defensively and offensively. And the guy's literally 5'6".
It's unbelievable. Scott, you talked a lot, and it just, to me, it was the perfect case of you literally foreshadowed what was going to happen in that final. Because on our last show, you spent, a bunch of time talking about offensive rebound. You were not just saying Mitchell Robinson, yeah, he's on the Knicks, but you were talking about extra possessions and that rebounding. It does a couple things. One of them, frankly, it breaks the back of the other team. We just keep pounding the boards.
Right.
They feel like a bunch of bitches, but you were calling it out and calling out offensive rebound. Mitchell Robinson, Scott, had 11 of them in like 18 minutes. What the fuck?
I mean, honestly, dude, this guy is. You cannot replace that. You have to keep him on the team. He's had lots of injuries. He misses lots of free throws. I don't care. He doesn't play back-to-backs. I don't give a fuck. He is so good when he plays and when it matters that he's irreplaceable.
Yeah. Going back to Mike Brown, you brought up an interesting point. Like, hey, Tibbs versus Mike Brown. Let me take that story just a little bit more full circle. Yeah, I talked that he's expanding it by using other players, other assets on the bench. Last night, Scott, we had a backup center and a backup center playing who has played 10 minutes all year and played great. You know what I'm saying? Tibbs wouldn't do that. He would have just played 7 guys and he would have played like OG at center, Scott. He has no flexibility. So I'm going to give Mike Brown a good thumbs up so far. I think he's got him playing great basketball, and and I'm pretty fucking psyched about it, bro. And you know what? We had a great lineup of basketball last night, and we got some great sports coming up this weekend. So listen, pretty psyched.
The game on Thursday night that I had the over in the Pistons, I got it at 229. It closed at 230 and a hook. I got it at 229, fact, and it went to 230. We hit that bet. Okay. We hit both elite bets. I know people get mad when I get bets wrong, but I'll take that over in the Pistons game. I'll take that pick 'em with Seattle that we got Wednesday night.
How about that?
And it moved to 2 on BetRib, -2 on BetRib. We got it at pick 'em on BetRib on Wednesday night.
Crazy.
We gave everyone attention. Make this bet now. We hit that bet 38-37. Everyone that bet Seattle would have lost because it was -1.5 to -2. We got it as a pick 'em, that covered, and we covered with Arkansas State. So as we go into Saturday's huge college games and huge college football playoff games and huge FCS playoff games, just know that we hit those big football games Thursday. Let's do it again on Saturday here.
Hey, Scott. So with your encyclopedia of knowledge of sports, and I'm not kidding around about that, nobody fucking knows the ins and outs of sports like you do. I want to ask you one question right now. Can Sam Darnold win a Super Bowl? I mean that honestly. Does he have the gravitas at this point? Because last year in the playoffs, if you remember, Scotty, he got a little shaky. Can he pull it off this year? Because they're a fucking good team.
Yeah, listen, I got to be honest. The problem I have with Sam Darnold is he's capable of having, an egg. Like he could throw 4 picks like he did. In the game that we covered, 21-19, we had 2.5 with them losing to the Rams in LA. If you remember, we covered that bet. But he threw 4 picks that night. He threw 2 picks on Thursday Night Football the other night. One of them to a 300-pound guy. So I think he's capable of stinking up the joint and having bad games when it matters. I will say this. He didn't have a huge night, but I thought that when it mattered on the 2-point conversions twice, he got it done. Those are big plays in a big game. So it showed me something. Do I think that they're going to win the Super Bowl? No. In fact, I think that that team that they beat last night will be in the NFC title game with Stafford. When Stafford throws for almost 500 yards and loses, know that he can throw for 500 yards and win.
A
Remember that
lot.
they were at the 20-yard line of the Eagles at the Link in Philly in snow in the playoff game. They were the only team to come close to beating the Eagles, including the fucking Chiefs, who got their ass beat. The only team that came close was the Rams. The Rams are legit. They should have won that game Thursday night. They didn't because of the giant nuts that McDonald had to go for 2 to win the game, and they won the game. I don't think he can get it done in a Super Bowl, and I don't think they go to the Super Bowl. But I will say this.
Right.
I would love to see him go to the Super Bowl. In fact,
It'd be cool.
But I would rather, being honest here, I would rather see the Bears somehow get to the NFC title game, which won't happen. But I want to see Rams Bears. And
Yeah.
for some reason, that Chicago Bear team keeps winning. I know they lost at Green Bay, but they were down at the 10-yard line with a chance to win the fucking game, and he threw the pick in the end zone. I think they win this weekend against them.
He's too young. It's
Fuck
not
off.
time.
So, look, I think he's exciting as hell in year 2, whatever it is. I think he's turned into a hell of a quarterback, and now he's got a hell of a coach, which they haven't had in Chicago since Mike Ditka.
Yeah, so I just found out I'm looking at my watch because it said you had a low sleep score last night. Yeah, I know I had a low sleep score because I was having trouble after the Knicks game, falling asleep because I was so fucking amped up, and now I have my watch reminding me. What is it, like December 18th, Scott? So I'm here to tell you.
19th as we take this show. But let me say this. The Knicks played hungover, strung out, Vegased out.
Still won.
Didn't try. They were getting their ass beat after one, and they still won the fucking game. But they didn't cover, so I lost that bet. That sucks.
All right, so I'm bringing it up. 19. So here's what I want to tell you right now, partner. I'm going to say that Buffalo wins the Super Bowl. Yeah, I'm on.
Okay, well, that never happens, so you're probably
I'm
right,
on 'em.
but that never happens. So
I got it.
They
I'm
always
on 'em.
go and fuck it up. And let me tell you what, their defense is so average, it's not even funny. They gave up 31 again to the Patriots. They give up 30 points a game, and you can't win the Super Bowl giving up 30 points. I think
I get it.
He can beat anyone. Josh Allen can beat anyone by himself, and I think he's special. And I think that they can, obviously be in the. I think Broncos and Bills would be a great AFC title game.
Here's the thing. His kryptonite, Scott, I'm going to tell you right now, his kryptonite has fallen. He's got a bum knee. His kryptonite has fallen. KC is out. I am telling you, whoever comes out of the AFC, whoever comes out of the AFC has an easier path to the Super Bowl by far, in my opinion, than the NFC. Because whether you like the Eagles or not, they're still there. You talked about the Rams. That's a good
it
team.
Could be Philly and the Rams again.
And so they're coming out of the NFC. I'm going to tell you straight up. I think it's a lot harder to get out of the NFC, but we'll see.
I want to see, as I said, I want to see an upset. I want to see someone knock off a heavy and get there as a sleeper that will lose to the Rams, my guess. Like, that Rams team is legit. The problem with the Rams is I think that, they can outscore and outrun anyone. They can just keep scoring and quickly in droves. There is no team in the NFL that can stop them. Even Philly, they can't stop them. No one can stop them from doing what they want. And look, here's another team in the AFC that is a sleeper, if you ask me, as the Chargers, because they've won 10 games. They keep winning. It doesn't matter who they play, they win. And, everyone thinks it's automatic Denver, but I'll tell you what, I think Orange Sherbert's a better quarterback than Knicks.
First off, I totally agree with you on that. And you talked about what's going to happen in a playoff, who could drop an egg. Bo Nix is being managed right now. And if Denver's going to win the Super Bowl, they're going to have to pull a Trent Dilfer. right? And let him do no harm because Bo Nix is not going to win you the game. No fun. When the chips are
So,
down,
so
not going to
obviously
happen.
we're going to talk about the NFL more on these matchups Sunday, Pain
Yeah,
Day,
Sunday.
in part two. So
Hmm.
let's focus on the college football playoff.
Let's do it.
Saturday is amazing. 3 gigantic games, and you're going to be
Yeah.
shocked at some of my thoughts.
Hey, Scotty, there's a tremendous fucking college matchup today that we both talked about it a lot, but I'm super psyched about. I would love to get your opinion about Alabama, Oklahoma. That's a good game.
Look, I think Venables' defense is literally Indiana and Oklahoma, to me, defensively, are the 2 best teams on that side of the ball in the playoff. So I think, and I've said this, I think that Oklahoma, because they beat them 23-21 in Tuscaloosa, right, in a great game, but this is a playoff game. I feel that the under is live because I think that in Norman at Memorial, that Oklahoma is going to give Alabama fucking nightmares tonight in that stadium. It's going to be completely lit. Everyone's going to be
Insane.
fucking drunk. It's going to be
Yeah.
loud as shit. And they already went on the road to Tuscaloosa and gave them fucking problems and beat them 23-21. At home tonight, stunningly, I think that they can hold Alabama, believe it or not, this is my guess, under 17 points. So I think
Well,
the
then the
under's live. I
then the
said,
under's live.
I said to my son, I think they can hold them to 10 fucking points. I think that's how good their defense is. And I think Indiana's defense is even better. And God forbid
They
that I would
proved it.
say it. It's too early.
They
But
proved it.
Indiana plays the winner of this fucking game. And if Oklahoma plays Indiana, they can fucking beat them. That's going to be a fucking low scoring war, even though
Yeah.
everyone thinks Indiana scores 50 every week. They ain't scoring 50 against Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma beats Alabama tonight with defense.
All right, let's move on, Scotty. So we've got some action here. Miami, Florida, your boys, the Canes, and Texas A&M. What do you think?
What do I fucking think? Now, look, I got to be honest with you. I hate to do this because I've been a Canes fan for over 50 years. I think they're going to lose at Kyle Field in College Station to A&M. I've told you this the entire football season. I think A&M is well coached. They're 11-1. They mean business. They have a great defense as well. Maybe the 3rd best defense of the teams left standing. And Ohio State, I put them on that same plane. But I think A&M's going to be really hard to beat in Kyle Field in College Station. Now, tonight, Miami's going to have problems in this place. This place is another den of iniquity. It's loud as fuck. A bunch of military dudes fucking getting crazy and losing their fucking minds. I think and I know everyone's like back and they're just going to light it up. And I've seen Miami live beat the shit out of Pitt in cold weather. They're not afraid to play at A&M, but I think they're going to regret that they had to play at A&M when it's all said and done.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for Miami.
You
I
bet.
really am, but I think A&M covers and wins the game tonight. It's 3 and a hook. I think they'll win by 7 or more at home at Kyle Field. I hope the Canes win. I'm rooting for them, but I don't think they'll get it done against that team tonight. I love their coach. I love their defense. I think Miami will give that quarterback some problems, but I think that Beck's going to have even more problems dealing with A&M's defense.
Yeah, I'm with you. I can see it being a field goal, Scotty. That's just my opinion. I can see it being that close. So right now, that 3.5-point spread for me is a little bit chunky. We will see. Scott, Tulane and Ole Miss. Ole Miss, obviously, in the throes of some disorder. Let's see what happens. I always love when there's a little side drama in this shit, and legit, there's side drama in this with Kiffin gone.
Now, look, you know I'm a fan of the Jew quarterback, Retzlaff,
Yeah.
and I think it's Hanukkah, and I think he's going to cover the number in Oxford. It's 17 and a hook because it's Hanukkah, Farelica. It's going to happen. Tulane,
That's the
everyone
gift?
thinks they're going to get whacked. They played in Oxford, lost by 35 the
Yeah.
last time they were down there at the Grove. I think because of a couple reasons. One, No one gives them a fucking chance in hell. 2,
Yeah.
no one thinks they deserve to even be in the goddamn thing. And 3, just like James Madison, nobody wants
Right.
him there. Nobody respects him. Tulane covers the number tonight. High risk bet for sure, or tomorrow night in Oxford. Now here's the other reason. So Lane Kiffin leaves. They bring this offensive coordinator in to call the game. They don't know shit from this guy from sideways, and I think they got interim coach and they got this OC calling plays. I think it's going to be kind of fucked up and they're going to splinter because it's not Lane Kiffin calling the game. It's not Lane Kiffin's offense anymore. It's been frayed and torn apart a little bit by his leaving. He wanted to coach him. That wasn't going to fucking happen. So let's see if they're this, 60-point team that blows everybody out, that kicks everyone's ass. I don't think so. Tulane shows up and makes a game of it. They got a great quarterback, and what they need to do is not make fucking mistakes. They need to
So,
not
Scotty,
turn the fucking ball over, and they also need to get first downs. Don't punt the fucking ball every time you got it. They need to move the ball, the clock. They need to score. They need to punch Ole Miss in the mouth once and say, we are here to play tonight. They can't just punt 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out the whole half. If they don't get into this game from the jump, they'll lose big. But if they get into the game, I think they might cover.
So, if you don't mind, Scott, I'm going to take a little public service announcement for Jew athletes right now, and then we'll get back to our regularly scheduled programming. Right. But the Tulane quarterback to me evokes there's a genesis going on right now with Jew athletes. I would like to point out Denny Avija, the kid out in Portland. Scott, he's a bucket getter. He's getting triple dubs. The Nets have this little Jew boy, right? Rookie who actually can play. Now, here's the thing. Growing up, the only kid, only Jew I was able to root for in sports was Rod Crew. And I don't know if you know this, but he's a black guy who wasn't originally Jewish. That came about, with a marriage thing. Besides him, the last great Jewish athlete was Sammy Davis Jr. So, I mean, we're really looking at, a genesis here. I'll get back to the regularly scheduled programming. We've got Montana and Montana State.
Okay, now listen. That's a great game. It always is. And you see the number is 5.5. I think the Grizzlies, now this game, just so you know, they have to go to Bozeman. They're on the road. But you're kidding, right? You're giving a team with 12 that's 13-1, 5.5 points. I'll take it.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. What do you think about the total in that one? Because these teams can put some points up.
Over 54.5.
Fair enough. By the way, guys, look around. MGM right now, I just trolled the line before we got on. MGM's got it at 53.5. You want that if you're going to play that over. Scotty, going to Saturday night. James Madison, Scott, 12-1 against Oregon, 11-1. Huge spread.
I want nothing more than to see JMU cover 20 and a hook. I'll jerk off if they cover. I don't know about you, but I doubt it. They're playing at Outson in Eugene. I think Oregon's going to be able to do what they want in this football game and get it done and cover. But I am totally, unequivocally rooting for James Madison in that football game. And I like the over as well.
Game's going over.
Way over.
And AI gives us a 5-point fucking margin right now across our platforms. We'll keep an eye on that, guys. This is not the final call for our paid subscribers. That'll come directly to you. But boy, I like it. Scott, that is pretty cool.
There's one more game. And
Illinois State, Villanova.
Yeah. I like Villanova.
What do you think?
At Villanova, Illinois State's been upsetting everybody and knocking everybody off. I think that ends in Philly, South Philly. Villanova gets it done at home, getting 2.5 as a home dog, and they're gonna, I think, knock off Illinois State. Illinois State has had a hell of a run when you think about it because they beat Southeast Louisiana, and the big win was the North Dakota State game, 29-28. And then they beat Davis on the road in California 42-31, and now they got to go to Nova. So they can obviously win on the road. Let's see
Yes,
if they
sir.
can win in shitty weather Philadelphia. And I don't think it's gonna be that cold tomorrow for that game. I don't
Yeah.
know. Let me just see. Does it say? Yeah, 37 and sunny. That's not that bad. Illinois State's not afraid to play there tomorrow. What a great game. I'll bet I'm
Absolutely.
going to go under 52 and a half. That's going to be a war.
All right, hey Scotty, I'm going to take you for shits and giggles to this evening's NBA games because there's some good action, partner. All right, and I know everybody's going to be watching Alabama, Oklahoma, but I just want to bring up a couple of games here, Scott. Opinion, please. The Knicks are burning it at both ends now. The Cup, they played last night. They traveled to Philly. What's the story on that one? Oh, pardon me. They're coming home, Scott. But
They're at
still,
the
they've been on
Garden.
the
I
road
like
like
the
crazy,
Knicks.
partner.
I like the Knicks.
You do?
Yeah.
Really? Okay, fair enough. Scott, what do you think about the Miami-Boston matchup?
I like Boston at home.
Yeah, even with that spread, fair amount of points. All right. What do you think about? Man, I like San Antonio.
I
They
like
impressed the
San
shit out of me.
Antonio and Atlanta. I think they'll kill the Hawks.
Yeah, right now I got to tell you, Wemby's playing 17, 18 minutes. He played 17 minutes last night, Scott. He is devastating. Chicago against
Yeah,
Cleveland.
I think on Pharrell Unplugged, I said I kind of like Cleveland, but the more I look at it, the more I'm interested in that 7.5 with the Bulls. I think it'll be a tight game.
Quick aside, what do you think of Josh Giddey? Remember now, he got traded away from OKC, traded away
Yeah,
from the
I think
best
he's
team
a
in the
good
world.
player. He does a lot. I think he, has a great uh, scoring touch, and he can pass the rock, and he's got size, so he's got length, and people don't realize how big he is, and he gets what he wants. So I think Giddy's obviously been a great player for them.
Yeah, hey, weird thing, Scott. All kidding aside, Giddy showed up in one of the Jeffrey Epstein photos. As you know, he has an
Giddy
affinity
kitty,
for what's that?
giddy kitty.
Yeah, he is. All right, last one, Scotty. OKC again, rolling along, but 8 points against a Minnesota team that is pretty tough. Any thoughts on that?
Well, yeah, I just saw them lose to the Grizzlies at home by 6, so why can't the Thunder beat them and
Beat the shit
cover?
out of
And
him.
then since you're doing Friday nights, why don't
Go,
you
baby.
talk about Saturday? There's even more games.
You
I know we
bet.
don't have the lines yet. How do you think Houston will do in Denver?
Yeah. I mean, listen. Okay, absolutely great game. I'm on Denver.
I'm
Houston took
on
a bad
Denver.
loss, Scott.
I'm
That was
on
a
Denver as
bad
well.
loss, buddy. Last night, that was a
You
bad
were
fucking
right.
loss for.
Don't bet the New Orleans game because New Orleans.
I
I
told
was
you.
like, should I take the 10 and take the Pelicans? We should have done it.
Yeah, yeah. I told you, man. I was afraid of that spread. What else, Scotty?
Well, do you like them again, the Pelicans against the Pacers tomorrow night in New Orleans?
Yes,
Yeah, I like
they're playing
Philly at
good
home
ball.
against Dallas. I
Agreed.
like Memphis at home against Washington. I love Detroit at home against Charlotte for sure. I like the
Yeah,
Dubs. They lost to the Suns by 1 in Phoenix. They'll beat them and
yeah.
cover in San Francisco. I like Orlando.
Aside, everybody, watch that. Watch as much as you can of Steph Curry because that guy is a treasure. At 37, he's playing some of the best basketball of his career. Watch him now. Time's running short.
Orlando, I like it. Utah.
Agreed.
Sacramento finally wins a game at home. They'll beat Portland, and I like the Lakers over the Clippers. I know you're going to go to the part 2 show in a second. I might as well just tell people this now since it's Friday night. A
Yeah.
week from tonight, which is the day after Christmas, so it'd be the 26th of
True.
December. A week
True.
from tonight, the 26th of December, I'll be on WFAN in New York from 7 to midnight Eastern. I'm
Go,
doing
baby.
I'm doing it's 66 AM 1019 FM, the number one sports station in the country. I was
I
on
love
it
it.
all through the 90s. I worked at CBS for 15 years at CBS Sports Radio and WFAN. So I'm doing Friday night the 26th. They asked me to do it because of my history there. And then
Cool.
I'm doing Tuesday the 30th, which is the following Tuesday. So Friday night, Tuesday. So Tuesday the 30th is the day before New Year's Eve. Same time, 7 to midnight on the 30th on WFAN in New York. And then I'm also doing in between those two. on the 28th, Sunday the 28th. So NFL games will be going on, etc. But that night, on Sunday night at 10 to midnight, I'm doing the last 2 hours ever on the Infinity Sports Network, which was CBS Sports Radio.
Rest in peace.
It became Infinity Sports Radio, and now
Rest
it's
in
turning
peace.
into at midnight Cinderella, Westwood One Sports. It's turning into Cinderella at midnight. I'm doing 10 to midnight until
Good for
Cinderella
you.
gets banged in the ass on
Good for you.
Infinity Sports Radio, and that's nationally. The shows on the 26th and 30th
That's awesome.
are on WFAN in New York. I don't even fucking know if it's on online. I wouldn't know because I don't listen to the fan. I wouldn't know where you could hear it on the 26th and 30th. But if you live in fucking New York, you can hear it. And
Yeah.
if you live in Jersey or Connecticut, you can hear it. I don't know if they stream it online. I really don't. I
I
don't
bet
give
you
a
they
fuck.
do.
But I am
I
doing
bet you they do.
3 shows. Don't read anything into it. There's nothing to it. I'm not working there. I'm not doing anything else. They asked me to do it as a favor, and I did the first show ever on Infinity on CBS Sports Radio ever in 2012. So I did the first words on the network ever, and they want me to do the last words on the network ever. Now, here's how scared they are of me doing it. They're actually having the boss that runs the network come in at 10 to midnight to do the show, to sit there while I do it, so that I don't say something that pisses people off. And also, just so you know, they fired everyone at the network because it's moving to Cinderella. And so they fired everyone, including the guy that's coming in to fucking stalk me. They fired him too. And I like the guy a lot. I'm friends with him, but he got whacked too. Everyone got whacked. So I'm doing the last 2 hours, and they're scared to death of me doing it. Yesterday, I went on the air on the network, and I talked about how shitty the radio business is and how broke ass they are, how broke ass radio is, and how nobody makes any fucking money, and there's no jobs that are worth a fucking damn. And they named the new network, right? And what they said was the Cinderella Network. They said that all of the people that they chose for the parts were rising stars. And where Mickey and I know what that means, rising stars are people you've never fucking heard of that they can rip off and not pay.
Cheap. Scotty, I am psyched for you, bro. It's absolutely fucking amazing that you can bookend CBS Sports, dude. That's fucking wild.
Yeah.
From 2012 to 2025.
So we're
I'm
gonna
going to
have to
definitely
do the
tune
show on Thursday because I don't want to. Friday's gonna be a voice day for me.
a day of madness.
Sunday a voice day and Tuesday a voice day. And I gotta save my pipes for. I'm doing 5 hours. Is that 5 hours? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 5 hours of radio, and then 2 hours of radio. So 5, 2, and 5. So I'm doing 12 hours of radio that weekend. So Friday, Sunday, and Tuesday. So the only place I'm announcing that I'm doing that is here on the F&P podcast. I'm not turning it into a big social media thing and all that gayness.
Hey, you know what? We're gonna wrap up here, Scott. But I was gonna send you over for that big show. I was gonna send you over some of that warm salt water so you could gargle. But I made up some lozenges for my cum, and I'm sending that. Enjoy it.
Those sound real salty.